Samsung is presently in the midst of finally pushing out One UI 7 based on Android 15 to its smartphones after a months-long wait. Next step will be One UI 8 based on Android 16, which will hopefully come in a more timely way. When it does, it will have the power to AI describe any web video using Samsung's built-in internet browser. This has been identified as it's now under testing. Once it's enabled, you will be able to AI describe any web video you come across in Samsung's browser, and on the Galaxy S25 series, the AI magic will happen totally on device, powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite's talents. Right now, if you want to test this, you can by entering internet//debug in the address bar of Samsung Internet, then pressing go, then tapping the three-line menu button in the bottom right corner, then going to Settings, then Debug Settings, Single Module Tests, AI Summarize Settings, and tapping Enable Video Summarize towards the bottom of the list. Needless to say, you definitely shouldn't do this, but if you do, bear in mind that it's uncertain whether the function will work right now for everyone. It is, after all, designed for testing only. But we can all look forward to the hopefully not delayed release of One UI 8, when this should become completely accessible to everyone. Similar functionalities already exist in other browsers, and even on YouTube itself. But having this tool, among the rest of the Galaxy AI package, right inside your browser is helpful. Galaxy S25 smartphones also analyze this data on device, which saves you on your data plan and exercises the Snapdragon 8 Elite's capabilities. You may use this for YouTube videos, but also for other videos on any website. Without the new video summarization function, Samsung Internet would just summarize the title and description of a specific YouTube video. In our testing, we found the created video summary to be very accurate. Testing the tool on our own video tour of the new Samsung Internet UI, the function delivers a succinct summary of all topics mentioned in our video. Unfortunately, the detailed option for summaries in Galaxy AI does not currently function with the current video tool. You will need to keep to the normal summary to obtain reliable video roundups. For a detailed instruction on how to activate the new video summarization tool, check out our video guide below. We anticipate this functionality to go out with the next One UI 8 upgrade, which has leaked several times over at this point. The aforementioned internet change is one of them, amid a redesign to the weather app, aspects of the gallery app, and more. Stay tuned for additional updates when they hit. Samsung provides the RAM Plus option for Galaxy smartphones, which utilizes a particular chunk of the phone's internal memory to increase app performance. We have begun hearing about various new features of One UI 8, and recent information shows that the next One UI iteration will give a 12 gigs option in the RAM Plus function. In One UI 7, users may pick how much storage they wish to utilize for virtual RAM, with choices like 2 gigs, 4 gigs, 6 gigs, or 8 gigs. More virtual memory means more applications can remain open, yet less free space will be available on the phone. According to DalDishGX, the One UI 8 will enable assigning 12 gigs of virtual RAM via RAM Plus on Samsung Galaxy handsets. This will apply to Galaxy devices that already have 12 gigs of physical RAM. For example, the S25 Ultra comes with 16 gigs of RAM in China and Korea, which would enable up to 12 gigs of storage to be utilized as virtual RAM, even if it has more than 12 gigs of physical RAM. This implies that if you have a Galaxy handset with 12 gigs of RAM, you may be able to designate 12 gigs of storage to operate as virtual RAM to offer your phone even more ability to handle many programs. Currently, we should take this information with a grain of salt, since Samsung hasn't verified it. But we might anticipate the 12 gigs RAM Plus variant with the One UI 8. In addition to this, the One UI 8 is planned to provide new functionality and design modifications to enhance the user experience. Samsung may release the One UI 8 beta version sooner than normal, maybe in Q3 2025, with a final version going out in Q4 2025. Following the stable release of One UI 7.0, Samsung has initiated internal preparations for its next major software update, Android 16-based One UI 8, for the Galaxy S25 series. After the vanilla Galaxy S25 model, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus has now surfaced on Geekbench with the One UI 8. This time, the Korean version of the Galaxy S25 Plus has been tested. It arrived with the software build number S936 NKSU2BYDN, which suggests that Samsung is testing the One UI 8 internally. The S25 Plus with the One UI 8 did well in the benchmark test, receiving a single-core score of 3,146 and a multi-core score of 9,545. While remarkable performance, these numbers represent early testing and are likely to improve with more optimization in future releases. Back in January 2025, Samsung announced the Galaxy S25 series in January 2025 with Android 15 and the One UI 7.0. The impending One UI 8 update will be the first substantial software change for these devices. Earlier, the worldwide version of the Galaxy S25 was also observed on Geekbench with great performance running the One UI 8. Samsung was tardy with the Android 15-based One UI 7 deployment, but things seem better with Android 16. Samsung may release the One UI 8 beta sooner than normal. It may still follow its typical timeline, publishing the beta in Q3 and the stable version in Q4 of 2025. The One UI 8 is intended to deliver new features and enhancements over the One UI 7. Stay tuned for additional details. Next, the One UI 8 app's accessible early, but it's not all good news. 2 Samsung applications targeting Android 16 are currently accessible online. While Galaxy consumers wait for the One UI 7 upgrade, the firm is quickly pursuing the One UI 8 development. The listing of applications shows things are progressing well ahead of the July release. Samsung Gallery and weather applications from the One UI 8 are available early. It's the first time we're seeing the listing of program files on a major third-party Android application supplier, and the list will increase further gradually. The One UI 8 offers updated gallery weather. The gallery and weather applications are undergoing substantial design changes in One UI 8. Leaked firmware highlighted the company's ambitions to reinvent system apps to raise the user experience with the next significant release. One UI 8 will bring obvious modifications to the design of the gallery app. The menu buttons will use global One UI forms for a uniform design. The weather feature will incorporate slick new animations, making it the largest overhaul in years. While the software files are accessible early, the installation failure is rather disheartening. I tried sideloading One UI 8 applications on One UI 7, so you don't have to. The installation starts, but the procedure terminates with a pop-up reporting installation failure. Samsung will debut Android 16-based One UI 8 with the Galaxy Z Flip 7 and Z Fold 7. The new foldable phones will likely appear in early July this year. We think the One UI 8 beta program may go live in August or September this year. Another Galaxy S25 phone using One UI 8 has been cited, indicating Samsung is extending its internal testing of the new Android 16-based skin. After considerable delays and simply angering quite a number of people, Samsung has begun sending out the stable One UI 7 upgrade to older compatible devices, such as the Galaxy S24 series and the Galaxy Z Fold 6. But Samsung apparently doesn't want to repeat the same irritating issue with its next OS upgrade, and it's been said to push for One UI 8. Now, the business looks to be increasing its internal testing of One UI 8, which is based on Android 16. These internal testing builds are for Samsung's newest flagships, the Galaxy S25 series. A few days ago, a Galaxy S25 running One UI 8 was sighted in the public. The gadget was the worldwide version of the phone with the model number SM931B. Now, tipster Taranguts33 has published on X a One UI 8.0 build, this time for the South Korean version of the Galaxy S25 Ultra, with model number SM938N. The build is carrying firmware versions 938 NKSU2BYD6. Judging on the number of the firmware version, it's likely the next One UI version. Normally, the Galaxy S25 comes with One UI 7.0 based on Android 15 out of the box. This very much suggests the South Korea-based business is increasing its testing of the One UI 8. The software will be Samsung's next significant upgrade, although at the moment, it's unknown when it will formally debut. Rumors have been intriguing lately, however. We've heard that Samsung may speed up the One UI 8 development, even to the degree of possibly launching its next foldable phones, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Galaxy Z Flip 7, with it. Normally, the foldables were supposed to arrive with a One UI 7. But maybe Samsung wants to alleviate frustrations by launching One UI 8 quicker than what users may have anticipated. Meanwhile, April 10 marks the official day of Samsung introducing the One UI 7 stable in the US. Samsung Galaxy users in other areas have already begun getting the update since April 7, following a lengthy, annoying wait. The One UI 8 might steal Gemini's video summaries for Samsung Internet. Samsung's One UI 7 deployment is in full swing. The Android 15-based update began rolling out on Samsung smartphones earlier this month, and it has now begun finding its way to a majority of the South Korean tech giant's foldables and S-series flagships. Within the course of a day, the update started rolling out on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, Flip 4, S23 FE, the S22 series, and now even the S21 series, revealing a definite momentum in Samsung's distribution strategy that could be impacted by the expected the One UI 8. The final release of Samsung's Android 16-based One UI 8 might take place sooner than anticipated, with internal test versions already finding their way to Samsung servers. The Google's Android 16 is slated to enter the stable channel sometime around June. Samsung's One UI 8, on the other hand, is believed to begin trickling out with the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 around July. From what we now know, the One UI 8 isn't shaping up to be a significant rewrite of the OS skin. Instead, the upgrade will likely concentrate on making tiny but useful changes, all while bringing features like now brief and log video recording to previous flagships. Additionally, the South Korean internet giant could also be looking at adopting a feature similar to Gemini's Ask About This Video and bringing it to its native browser with the capability ready to test drive right now. Samsung might be considering multiple AI updates for Samsung Internet as part of Galaxy AI package of capabilities, with video summarization being one of them. Reportedly, the technology not only passes through video subtitles, but also the video itself and its spoken conversation. It then employs an unidentified multi-modal AI technique to summarize crucial information. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.